The Buccaneers have a massive opportunity here. So some players that we have referenced in the past need to be talked about because they actually have real possibilities of becoming future Buccaneers in about 2 weeks as soon as the draft hits. And these are day two guys that have been really rising the boards and have fans wondering, is this the future of inside linebacker for the Buccaneers? I'm Sebastian, Buccaneers Digest. Welcome back, everybody. Very excited to get into this. We've referenced that we would do these videos in the live stream for the mock draft. We'll probably do another mock draft live stream. I just want to see if I can maybe get a guest or something on the channel. But in the meantime, we do need to talk about, because listen, whether you want us to address a different position or not, inside linebacker is going to get addressed in the draft. We know Anzalone is going to be one of the starters. He's going to be the green dot guy that's getting the calls from Todd Bowles, but we need someone else, a young guy that we start developing alongside him and learning the ropes. And we're going to be exploring two guys that are actually real possibilities for the Buccaneers. And then in another video, we'll be exploring the other two just to cover the bases. Because listen, we all know that the big name is Sonny Styles. Very unlikely unless the Bucs decide to trade into almost the top five if they want to get him. So unlikely that's going to happen, unfortunately, because he's awesome. And then after that, you could argue who's number two. C.J. Allen gets brought up a lot as like the number two guy for inside linebacker. And then Jacob Rodriguez, J-Rod. So I know everyone is in on J-Rod. Trust me, I am too. A lot of people are like, okay, like if it's not Allen, if it's not, Sonny Styles, it has to be J-Rod. And some people want J-Rod over Allen. But we've covered J-Rod several times. It's time to explore, like it did in the mock draft. Okay, if things don't work out, if someone trades up and gets him, kind of spooks us or surprises us in that sense, what's the next option? What's the plan afterwards? Will the Bucs have a backup plan? They kind of have to. They are either going to be aggressive to go get their guy at inside linebacker, or they have several options at inside linebacker that they like, which is great because this is actually a deep draft, and that's what I'm hoping is the case. So, without further delay, let's just jump right into it. Remember, guys, 4,000 subscribers by the draft. We're getting closer to 3,600, so if you can help us reach that point either today or tomorrow, that'd be awesome. But let's just jump right into the topic at hand. So, Sleeper Bucs, they put out this interesting, say the grade, this 2-round mock draft, one being Akeem Mezdor. We've all talked about him being one of the top candidates to be selected by the Bucs' first-round pick. The second one was Jake Golday, the linebacker out of Cincinnati. A lot of people have very high grades on him. Some people not so much. They enjoy his speed. We'll get into it, but there is a lot to really like. So what's interesting here is that when it says Dane's takeaway, this is referring to Dane Brugler, who he released this list called the Beast's list off of The Athletic, where he talks about and all the top 100 or so, 150 prospects in the NFL draft. He gives detailed descriptions. This is just kind of an overall summary of what he thought of Golday. He said, Golday is still unrefined in several areas, but his size, speed, and ascending skill set are reasons to be encouraged. He projects as an immediate special teamer who can compete for defensive snaps during his rookie year. So that obviously a lot of people are like, ooh, he's not even going to be possibly an inside linebacker starter. That's just Dane's takeaway. There are a lot of other people who think that he could actually be an immediate starter, but maybe he should get experience as a special teamer first, just getting used to the NFL speed and tackling there. Joshua Quippo from Pewter Report, his overall takeaway and analysis, I really appreciated. He did all the linebackers basically on that website. He said that Golday offers plus skills in the two superfluous areas of the linebacker position, coverage and pass rushing, but he struggles in the basic areas a linebacker has to be expected to perform in, fitting the run. He's a project who shouldn't be expected to start right away. He played more snaps in the nickel this year than he did in the box. But Golday's physical and athletic traits paired with his coverage chops and ability as a pass rusher make him a fantastic upside play at weak side linebacker for a team that can add him as a depth/developmental player, or a team that doesn't need to win this year and can use 2026 as a learning year. For those reasons, I wouldn't have him as an obvious fit for the Bucs because he should be taken taken in a range on day 2, likely in the second round, where Tampa Bay would want a player who can provide more immediate impact. All this is to say that, spoilers, Golday is he's an interesting idea. If we had Lavonte another year, Golday would be a great candidate to learn underneath Lavonte, but that's just not the case anymore. We don't have our Hall of Fame linebacker anymore. We have Anzalone. He's a good veteran at this point, but I think that any rookie linebacker that we're going to bring in, Anzalone's still got to learn the defense, learn the signal calls, and get on sync with Todd Bowles, which Todd just was always able to rely on Lavonte for years now, calling out the plays and just having a mind meld with him. So there's going to be a lot of a learning curve for anyone who's jumping in. Anzalone is going to be the guy who's really wearing that green dot and communicating. That's what we learned. But the guy that's coming in, the young guy, developmental wise, he may not get as much teaching experience as he would have wanted, because Anzalone is still learning the system, learning how to get familiar and comfortable and all that good stuff. So I think that's the only thing I'm truly worried about is if it comes down to it. But the physical traits are there. If we're willing to develop the guy and be patient, then I think that it would be really exciting. But I don't see that being the case. I would say that this would be more of a long shot than other candidates that we'll talk about. So that being said, let's just jump into the other guy that we're talking about today, and that would be Josiah Trotter. But Real Bucs Talk posted a video saying he's pure chaos. And if you're not sure who we're talking about, so look at the quarterback, look to the right, the guy who's jumping over the running back to trying to block him. That is Trotter. He is just an insane playmaker, runs downhill. I've seen Trevor Sigma kind of compare him to Devin White. That might scare a lot of Bucs fans. Again, Devin White, if you remember, was I think a 5th overall pick in the first round when we drafted him. So, if you can get a Devin White type of player in the 2nd or 3rd round, that'd be obviously a lot better value. He hits really hard. He's fast, but again, he's a bit smaller on the size, like Golday, and it might scare some people. So Dane's takeaway for this from the Beast, he says that Trotter doesn't have playmaking awareness in coverage, at least not yet, but his run instincts and take-on skills are among the best in this draft class. He looks like a starting NFL Mike. So Dane is he's definitely higher on Trotter than he is on Golday, and I think that is really, really interesting. And then when it comes to what Quippo from Pewter Report had to say about him, he said Trotter profiles as a downhill middle linebacker who will be a value add rushing the passer, but I'm not sure he can be that year one. He has a long way to go as a processor and will need time to learn the mental speed of the NFL. He lacks the processing power to see things as a coverage player to be in the right place at the right time, and doesn't have the elite athletic traits to catch up when he is late to recognize. As for his fit in the Bucs system, his archetype would work in a Todd Bowles mug and drop defense, but the risk involved with that projection would make him a day 3 bet for me. Yet Trotter is projected to be a day 2 selection. So, this being the case here, it's interesting that we might not want to go down this route just because we've been here before. And obviously, Devin, he was really explosive, made some great plays, some sacks, and running down guys who are running to the sideline. His catch-up speed was just amazing. And Trotter has very similar traits that his tape reads very similarly. But I think that they're going to be looking for someone who's a bit more of a sure bet in pass coverage. That's why these two players, while Golday, I think, has a higher ceiling and potential to learn pass coverage, Trotter doesn't seem like that's really much in his skill set. It's really going to be more of just a downhill, getting ugly, being physical. And that's why Quippo was like, listen, if he drops to day 3, then we could take a flyer on him. But we shouldn't waste a day 2 round 2/3 pick on him, and I agree with all of this. I think that the assessment is very accurate. I've watched some highlights, and it's been interesting. I feel like everyone gets fooled a little bit by some of the splash plays, you'll see from Trotter particularly. Golday's isn't nearly as splashy, or at least his 2025 highlights weren't. But you can get tricked by that kind of thing. He just the amount of the build that these guys have and just the speed that they work with. I think that these are dangerous players to bank on. Like, if for whatever reason the Bucs are, we're definitely not going to get Sonny Styles without a trade up. But if we don't land J-Rod or C.J. Allen, the next group of linebackers we have to be very careful about who we decide to like bring in to be basically our second starter. Because Christian Roseboom, the other guy that I think he was from the Panthers, he's more of a special teams guy and a backup linebacker. I would very much doubt he is intended to be a starting linebacker. So that is just kind of where we stand right now on both of these guys. Do you think that, the analysis is being a bit harsh on them, or do you think that it's like, no, man, like, we need more sure bets in pass coverage? That was like, we're not going to go back to Sebastian Georgiev and, his, just inability to cover almost anyone. So that's just kind of where it is right now. I think that if we got one of these guys on day 3 with like a round 4 pick, I could live with that. But I don't think that that's where. I think that both of them are projected to be day 2 picks, and I would rather get someone who's a bit more, who has a higher upside in pass coverage and is less of a project maybe. Now, what's interesting about this is that the guys that I'm going to talk about in the next video are also projects and even projected to be drafted after these guys. Not necessarily that's what's gonna happen. A lot of them, you can interchange the names and the top 5s and all that good stuff, but it's just a matter of where certain strengths lie, how high is their ceiling, how low is their floor. All of that is, I would say Golday's floor is higher than Trotter's and a lot of other guys, but at the same time, he's just going to take time. I would be excited if we got him, but he's going to take time to develop, and the Bucs may not be too patient with that idea, especially just considering that hole that we have at the second inside linebacker spot. So let me know what you guys think about this down below, and I'll keep updating you guys as new signings come in, and I'm excited to do some more linebacker videos, and then we'll kind of transition to edge rushers because we all know that there's still some more guys that we need to talk about. But until next video, guys, we'll see you then.